We do not have to have a fascist government to suffer from fascist politics. For fascist politics to take hold, we have to have a failure of our democratic culture. We have to have a failure to respect the dignity of each human, and we have to have a failure to value the truth. I think we should be very worried. Fascism is ultranationalism, where the nation is defined in terms of racial, ethnic, religious, or perhaps cultural identity. And the nation is identified with one person, the leader, who is its voice. Fascist politics is tactics that exploit this kind of us-them distinction. Fascist politics might not result ultimately in a fascist state, but it's important to be attendant to the dangers, because in and of itself, it breaks down the democratic culture, even if it doesn't ultimately result in a fascist state. We should be very worried. We already have a long history of racial divisiveness in this country, and we've expanded those techniques to other groups, to immigrant groups. We can slip back very quickly. We have slipped back very quickly. I think many Americans don't realize how much of what we're seeing right now is very similar to the tactics that fascist leaders in the past have employed. For example, when conspiracy theories become the coin of politics, rallies where the leader is one with his supporters, dividing people into the enemy versus the leader's supporters.
I think, you know what? I think we're the elites. They're not the elites. And yes, by the way, they are trying to take away our history and our heritage. You see that.
This has been happening now for many years, even before Mr. Trump came to power. The United States has long had a core element that deeply affected the rise of European fascism. Hitler was deeply affected by the KKK, by Jim Crow, by our racial politics. So we find a long strain in U.S. politics where minority groups, in particular Black Americans, are targeted with lies, with falsity, with panic and fear that politicians have used as a basis for political campaigns. Richard Nixon ran a law and order campaign misrepresenting peaceful protests as riots and raising panic about rising crime.
This is a nation of laws, and as Abraham Lincoln has said, no one is above the law, no one is below the law, and we're going to enforce the law, and Americans should remember that if we're going to have law.
Mr. Trump ran a campaign raising panic about a completely fictional wave of rising crime.
Law and order must be restored.
So what fascist politics does is it breaks down the democratic ethos of our state. It breaks down our capacity for equal respect, to respect all other human beings, and it breaks down our connection to reality and replaces it with fear and a connection to one thing alone, the leader. And when you create that kind of politics, when you create susceptibility to that kind of politics, then liberal democracy, which is a very hard culture to create, is at risk.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.